And for anyone who's been through it initially, gosh, it is, I mean, it is 5 mirrors around you, and you're looking at, you know, if you're really being honest with yourself and you're getting the most out of the program for growth, you really have to have a relationship with your coach that you feel comfortable with, that you feel like, you know what, this coach, after the first meeting, I am going to be able to say these things about myself, because, you know, a lot of the things that come up that you know you need to grow in and you know you need some help on are things that you know about yourself already, but we just do a better job of kind of masking them later on in our lives as we crawl up the ladder. And one of the things that I can tell you in the feedback that I received from the stars that had Steinbrecher coaches were that you feel completely comfortable. You always felt like there was a client relationship that would not be broken. And therefore, you felt like you had more confidence to go and practice some of these things. And, you know, you always had permission. And, you know, if there were items that you needed to work on, let's say it was public speaking, you always felt like you were prepared prior to going in on public speaking. If it was being more prepared for a meeting or following a project all the way through to the end, you felt like you were given the tools you need and the monitoring and kind of that little coaching along the way, that you're going to start this ROI project and you're not going to delegate it out to the very end because you need to finish this. So that was the feedback that I got from our leaders and stars, and you see a huge improvement in this growth on a professional level. You just see a level of confidence that comes out from these leaders who have gone through this executive coaching. So very positive feedback, and I think some friendships developed. I know that some of them, you know, talk about, oh, our next group that's coming in, you have to get Steinbrecher to be your coaches. And so, you know, just very positive feedback from all of our leaders and that have gone through the program. Yeah, let me just talk about the return on investment for executive coaching can kind of be a hard thing to define. And as a company, because we have a very defined culture, which, you know, I might add, Steinbrecher really learned a lot about our culture in order to, I think in order to really be successful, they would have had to do that. But a lot of companies have tried it and they weren't able to kind of match the culture. They always kind of had their philosophy, but it didn't quite match our culture. So when we started this program, it's hard to define the return on investment on it, you know. But we spent a lot of money and time and energy on making sure that we were going to develop the next leaders, the next high-level leaders for our company. And, you know, we have to think about, number one, we want to make sure that we give them the right culture so that they don't leave us. Number two, we want to make sure that we give them the tools, that they believe in our culture, that they live it, that they eat, drink, sleep it every single day, so that, you know, as it filters down, our company is kind of entrenched in it. So when you think about executive coaching, we have the folks that have been, our stars that have been in the executive leadership program that have gone through the executive coaching, we virtually have zero turnover. You know, we have had great feedback on the program. We have our executives that have been through the program are all still with us. There's been no change on that. And they are the ones really spreading the culture the way it needs, or teaching the culture the way it needs to be taught. So, you know, down to orientation. And if you think about it, it's amazing that some of our leaders, all of the leaders that have been through the program, go and speak to our orientation classes. And they speak to the new leaders classes. And they speak to our, what we call our up-and-coming leaders class. And so it is such a great, you know, they're great role models. And that is part of what the program is as, you know, high potential program, and as this executive mentor program, these are the role models that we want in our company, and every one of them are still with us.